Chris, take it away.
Great. One of the things that I've been wrestling with as a leader was realizing some of my own shortcomings.
Yeah.
And one of those areas that I felt like I really failed as a leader was in the area of vision. Now, it's really interesting because I always thought of myself, I took StrengthsFinder, and one of my strengths is called strategic, which is meant to be kind of the long-term focus, visionary kind of leadership. But I realized that, you know what, I actually have dropped the ball in some ways. And the reason why is that I have been constraining the vision to my capacity. I've been constraining the vision to my capacity. What that means is that I'm basically saying, well, here's what I'm capable of doing, so here's what we're going to do. And that's exactly the opposite of what a vision is supposed to be. In many ways, a vision is like a vision of like, here's what the future is going to be like, and I'm not capable of making that happen
Right now.
And so we have to do what's necessary, working backwards from that vision to make it a reality, and bring in and invite other people to come alongside to be able to make it a reality. So as a leader, what happens is that I think in the early days it makes a lot of sense, right? Like I'm still starting out. I haven't been able to articulate it very clearly what the vision is of Ceaseless, for example. Or I just have a nice goal, but I don't really get the vision yet. And so it makes sense that I'm kind of just doing what I'm able to do. I can program, I can write, I can do these things. This is the time I have, so this is the best I can do with what I have. The problem with that kind of way of leading is that you end up being alone.
Yeah.
Because it's always like, well, this is what I could do, so I'll just do that. And I don't need anybody else because that's all I could do.
Oh, you're self-sufficient.
So I end up alone. It's being self-sufficient. You think it's awesome, but it sucks.
Yeah.
And then I would get people out of the woodworks who were just like, "Hey, Chris, what can I do to help you?" And I'd be like,
I got it.
"No, I wouldn't be. I got it." I'd be like, "I don't know. Could you do this or that?" And the help that we would get would become very scattered and random. It wouldn't be systematic and it wouldn't be strategic.
Okay.
And why? Well, because the vision I've set, the goal I've set, I thought it was clear, and it is kind of clear. But it hasn't been broken down in such a way that I can invite other people to come alongside and be a part of it. It's only clear about what I can do, not what others can do. And that's not leading. Or in a sense, that's just leading myself. It's not leading other people. It's not serving other people with that kind of leadership. And also growing up, I'm the kind of person who did a lot of like vision mission exercises and stuff like that because my dad was like a eccentric consultant for a while and stuff, so I learned all this stuff from him. And I used to think that it was like a fill in the blank kind of thing. It's like, okay, what's our purpose for our organization or whatever? Let's fill in the blank, and then the mission, the vision, and all that stuff. And you know how like in school when we were taught how to write essays, we're taught like the what was it called, like the thesis statement, the first paragraph with the concrete example number 1, and then the concluding paragraph and all that stuff. 1, 2, 3 examples, and then the concluding paragraph. So we're taught the form. But it's not until much later that you begin to understand the essence of the argument that you're making. And then you can throw away the form. You don't need it anymore, actually, in a sense, right? Because now you can argue from so many different angles, and you can choose the plan of attack that you want to do to make your point, and you can start to use rhetoric to make it very effective. So I felt like I had a moment like that, where I discovered the essence of like this framework of vision, mission, and stuff like that. And once I understood, I was like, oh, okay, it's not just fill in the blank. Like, this is real work.
Yeah.
This is real work to actually think it through thoroughly. And pin it down. So for Ceaseless, our vision, one way to phrase it is that we dream of God's kingdom come through prayer. Exactly as it says in the Lord's Prayer, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. It's very succinct, but that phrase actually encompasses everything that we dream of. That's what we want to see, God's kingdom come through prayer. And the mission, of course, is the more specific thing that we are doing, which is our mission is to have personal prayer for everyone on earth. That's the specific way that we're trying to achieve that vision of God's kingdom come, is through personal prayer for everyone on earth. But here's the next thing that made it so much clearer to me, is that we then tied it to a goal. So that mission's really broad, right? And so when people come to ask me, Chris, like, how do I help you? I don't really know. It's like, can you help with like sharing the new word, marketing, giving money? Like, how much money do you need? Like, I'm not sure. Like, right? It becomes so ambiguous, I can't invite anybody to help. So then this is the thing that really kind of flipped it for me. Is like, I realized like, oh, okay, vision and mission are important because they set that strategic future. But then you tie it to a goal that's correlated with those things.
Okay.
And so that's why we've already had this. We've had the elements for a while. I just never put it together so clearly in my head. Our goal is 70 million people praying for three other friends every day.
That's
70?
1%, right?
That's 1% of the world, right? 7 billion people on Earth, so 70 million was 1%. We want 70 million Christians to be praying for 3 of their friends every day using Ceaseless. And that's a very concrete goal. So that very big picture vision of praying for everyone on earth becomes something that, That's what we have to achieve. That's the number that if we can get to that level, then we know we have a good approximation that we're actually achieving our mission.
Yeah.
And that's something that we can start to work backwards from. Okay, 70 million people. What kind of viral growth rate do you need, and how do you actually get that? Or what kind of marketing channels do you have? How many people can each of them reach? What kind of retention numbers are you getting on each one? Right? So then you can start breaking it down into really nuts and bolts, concrete actions that you can start taking to get towards that goal.
Yeah.
And once we lay out that plan, we know both in terms of product improvements and marketing strategy, now we know how much those things cost. Right? We know how much it will cost to get this marketing channel, or maybe we can get it cheaper through a partnership, but now we know what it will cost to do that, and how much labor, what kind of people, what kind of skills are needed to make that happen. And then for the programming side, we know, or we're guessing, the kinds of features that can drive retention or that can drive virality, and we're testing that, and we can start measuring to see how effective those features are and how much it will cost to build them for how many people and how long. And so everything starts becoming really concrete now. So after we've set the vision, the mission, the goal, we can create a plan behind the goal. And the plan is what was so critical and what I was avoiding for so long because it was so hard to do, but was so essential to being a leader. And it's not because the plan is perfect. It's not because it can predict everything. It's that the plan is so clear in its logic of cause and effect that it lets us confidently invite other people to help us. And we're still building that plan. My sister and I are co-founders of TheoTech, working on Ceaseless. We're still building that plan. And that's like the hard work that we have to do. Because if we've set it, and the causality makes sense, is plausible, and it ties to our goal, and the goal makes sense with regard to the mission and the vision, then we have confidence to say, guys, we need to raise this much money to be able to execute on this plan. I mean, this kinds of labor, these kinds of people, these partnerships, and this product development in order to move it to the next level, and then to actually achieve the plan so that we end up fulfilling the mission and the vision. And I realized that's actually the hard work of leadership. That's the hard work of leadership. Many people can cast a dream or a vision and just make a nice mission statement, but the work of actually breaking it down and inviting people into that is one of the ways that as a leader I'm supposed to serve others. Because when somebody wants to help me, that's my job to figure out what is the best way that I can ask them to help me so that they're not wasting their labor as well, right?
Yeah.
And so that they can also grow, and so that they can make a decision to see, like, do they want to be a part of this? And that's something I can't kind of just pawn off to other people to figure out for me. Right. As a leader, that's exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. So this was a big moment of like clarity and like change for me. It's like, oh, okay, this is the work I need to do, and it makes sense now why this is how I serve others actually with regard to this vision and this mission. So I'm still learning. I'm still figuring it out. I don't have it all figured out yet. But it's like one of those moments where, like, if you had a coach, is what they would tell you, and like, oh God, thank you so much for showing me the error of my ways, so that I can correct it and do things the right way. And so for other people, I don't know where they're at, but just thinking that through, what is the vision of what you believe God desires, and what's a specific mission that ties in with that, with a very concrete goal that could be achieved that correlates with that mission. Then you can put a plan behind it. Once you put a plan behind it, now you can really invite a lot of people to come alongside you to make it happen.